Well, hello, brother.
Hello, sister.
It's so good to see you.
Isn't it?
I've missed you.
I missed you, too.
I've always loved you so much. You know, I don't have a brother in real life. I don't have a biological brother. And I was so delighted that the script of Dallas gave me something I'd wanted my whole life. It gave me a brother.
Wasn't the very first scene that we ever shot was when I was waiting for you at the apartment and you came back and said you were going off with Bobby?
Yes.
Wasn't that the very first scene?
Yes. That was the... God, you remember that.
We wore our own clothes.
What do you think you're doing marrying a Ewing?
Marrying a man.
Bobby Ewing is not a man. Pamela, he's a Ewing.
It was really you and me against the world.
Right.
I mean, because our daddy was undependable. We weren't sure about who our mother was.
But why didn't you ever poison Bobby? Or poison J.R.?
I loved Bobby, and J.R. was his
Yeah,
brother.
but there was a family thing.
Anytime a Ewing and a Barnes cross paths, there's got to be trouble.
Every time we talk, you want me to take sides in the Barnes-Ewing feud. Well, I'm through taking sides. I'm going to live my life as I see fit.
You know, the Ewings destroy everything they get their hands on, and you're one of them now. You live with vipers, you become a viper. So why don't you go back to where you belong?
Do you know who your character was originally based on?
Who's that?
Okay, I don't know if most people know this. Originally, David Jacobs had based your character on Jack and Bobby Kennedy.
Get out of here.
So for the first 5 episodes, you were Kennedy-esque.
Clifford Barnes, this reporter has just learned, has been implicated in the abortion death of a young woman who was his fiancée about 10 years ago.
How? How could you have done it?
Politics is politics.
And that's your excuse? For taking a fine, good man and destroying him?
Now, hold on, Pamela.
You're going to pay for what you've done to my brother.
My favorite scenes, of course, were when you were kind to me. Not when you were mad at me because I was now a Ewing, but when you were my brother and you were supportive and loving. But the other favorite thing I used to do is, you were such a dog.
Well, I'll drink to that. And the JR, and longer and more trips.
You were all over the girls. I mean, it was always supposed to be JR. There was a different girl coming out of your bedroom every
Wait a minute.
episode.
Excuse
and
me.
Pam would come over and give you a look of utter contempt and disgust, and I had so much fun doing that.
What are you doing here?
What about Sue Ellen?
She's alive, that's all we know.
What about the baby?
She had a boy.
I want to see my son.
Cliff.
I had fun doing that because I would think, okay, now this week, how can I look a new kind of disgusted?
Wait a minute. Back off. Why are you laying this guilt trip on me?
Because I think that's where it belongs. She couldn't handle that affair with you.
I can't erase the past. Be reasonable.
No, you can't. And I don't have to be reasonable, and I don't even have to like you.
Oh, golly.
We used to talk about the Barnes-Ewing feud because
Hatfields and McCoys.
and you had some really interesting takes on it.
People will say to me that I was the bad guy, and I always defend that and say, no, I wasn't the bad guy. If it hadn't been for the things that J.R. did to me, I would have been a nice guy, but I had to defend myself.
Well, you also said that Cliff was not a loser. Losers don't keep coming back.
I said, you know, the first time it happened, that's one thing. Second time it happened, that was another thing. And that's playable. Then the third time it happened, I went to the producer, Lenny Katzman, and I says, hey, Lenny, wait a minute. I can't, you know, turn the other cheek. I've only got 2 cheeks. And he says, no, you got 2 more.